What's going on, everyone? I am Chandra Bethea, a communication scholar at the Edward Waters University, and we want to thank you for tuning in as we prepare for the 5K HBCU Run Walk. The Washington, D.C. Metro HBCU Alumni Alliance is proud and elated to bring the race to this amazing facility. Today, you'll be hearing from the co-founders of the St. James Sports and Wellness Complex, Craig Dixon and Kenneth Ashton.
Well, my name is Kendrick Ashton. I am the co-founder and co-CEO of the St. James. I am from Washington, D.C., Southeast Washington, D.C. I'm actually a sixth generation Washingtonian, and I went to the College of William & Mary, our nation's alma mater.
I'm Craig Dixon, co-founder and co-CEO of the St. James. I'm from Gaithersburg, Maryland, and went to the College of William & Mary, where Kendrick and I met.
Nice. Can you tell us about the St. James Facility and Wellness Center?
Well, the St. James is a premium sports, wellness, and active entertainment destination. And it features 450,000 square feet of just about anything you could imagine that anyone who is interested in sports or training or just active fun could want to engage in. We have 2 NHL-sized ice rinks. We have a 110,000 square foot field house behind us. We've got a 50,000 square foot premium health club with a high performance training center. We've got a full service restaurant that we did in partnership with a celebrity chef, a meta spa. We've got batting tunnels. We've got a gymnastics training center. We've got an Olympic-sized pool. We've got a 20,000 square foot active entertainment center called Super Awesome and Amazing that also has an indoor water park. So we tried to come up with something that everyone in the family would really enjoy and find something to do that connected to their passions. And that's what we've done here with the St. James.
Awesome. What would you say inspired you both to open this facility?
Well, the St. James is an outgrowth of the experiences that Craig and I had as young men growing up, being, as we say, irrationally devoted to sports. As we moved along in our lives, we continued to see real opportunities in the market to create an aggregated, premium, content-focused experience in communities like Greater Washington. And we got to a point where we thought we were ready, and we said, let's go do it. And we burned all the boats, and here we are.
What are some of the challenges you would say that you had to overcome when developing this business model?
Well, the biggest challenge is that predominantly with me, but also a little bit with Craig, although he's less apt to admit this, we hadn't really built anything since we were building Legos. And so, there are some areas that we had a lot of credibility in. We had built pretty strong track records as business people, as business leaders, but we weren't really developers. And so I think the biggest challenge was getting people to understand that we were capable of executing on the development vision, because there are lots of problems that can emerge when you're building campuses the size of this campus, buildings the size of this building, the intricacy and the interconnectivity that you have between the different spaces. So I think that was the biggest challenge. We filled that by identifying world-class partners to work with, and they delivered for us. And we learned a lot, we grew a lot in the process, and as a consequence, we've got this extraordinary product that we're sitting in today.
And we're still growing every day.
What advice would you give to aspiring college students, and recent grads interested in going into business for themselves?
Well, first, I would say you really have to develop a set of skills that not only can help you build your business, but also give people confidence in investing, right? So I think it's often useful to take some time to get some work experience and figure out what you like to do, what you're good at, what you're maybe not as good at, and also to identify problems that maybe aren't being solved by anyone that you could solve and earn a lot of money doing so. Because every business plan really starts with identifying a problem that needs to be solved and figuring out how you can solve it better than anybody else can. And so, and then the other thing I would say is just start. A lot of people don't do that.
That's right. And to start requires courage. You have to be prepared to confront your fears and proceed in the face of them. And so they have to be courageous. We would encourage college students to be courageous.
Love it. How do you measure personal and professional success?
Well, there are many, many different ways to measure it, but I think the most important way to measure it is, are you living up to the values that you hold dear on a daily basis? And that starts with us, with love. And we are committed to leading our lives with love at the center of it. And we work every day to fulfill that commitment. And as long as we do that, we're making a lot of success, and we're making a big impact on the world.
Everything flows from that. Everything definitely flows from that.
If you all had to do this all over again, would you? And what would you do differently?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And what I would do differently is to start earlier.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, there's not enough time in this interview to talk about the detailed things that we might do differently, but at a macro level, at the most important level, there's not a lot that we change other than starting earlier. I think that's right.
Okay, last question. Thank you guys for hanging in there. So you've created...
Yeah, this is exhausting, Chandra.
Amazing facility, but we see no tennis courts. Where are the tennis courts?
They're coming. So, so Craig is a real tennis lover. I'm a tennis lover as well. I love tennis, but Craig actually plays regularly. When we were designing this campus, we had a limited amount of capacity that we could, by right, design to, and we took up every single inch of that space. And tennis ended up on the wrong side of that design exercise. But we'll get there, we promise.
It pains me very deeply to have to talk about. And, my father, who taught me how to play tennis and plays tennis every day, and my wife, who loves tennis, they give me a hard time all the time about it. So we're going to rectify it at some point, but we couldn't fit it in at first.
Well, we want to thank you guys for the interview and allowing us to host our event here. What connections do you all have to HBCUs and Black Greek letter organizations?
Well, okay, so let's take those in reverse. So Craig and I, as you would expect, are members of the most important and most well-regarded Black college Greek letter fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha. And Sam's over here acknowledging the truth.
Indeed. Indeed.
And we're also members of Sigma Pi Phi, which is also known as the Boule. And so we're members of two Black Greek letter fraternities. And then we have lots of connections to HBCUs, which we're very proud of. We didn't go to HBCUs, but we think of ourselves as honorary graduates of Hampton, which is a stone's throw from the College of William Mary, and we spent a lot of time at Hampton getting acquainted with the home by the sea and all the talent at Hampton. We've got many family members. I've got family members that have graduated from Howard University, from Hampton University, from Coppin State University, from Morgan State University, from Fisk University, and West Virginia State. So we have many, many, many family members that have been educated at these fine institutions of higher learning, and they're quite proud of them, and as a consequence, we're quite proud of them.
Yeah, in addition to Howard and Hampton, I also have family members who attended Florida A&M University as well. Didn't want to leave them out.
Rattlers?
Rattlers.
Go Rattlers.
Go Rattlers.
Who's the real HU?
I mean, we're gonna stay committed to our values of leading our lives with love at the center of it. You are trying to create conflict, and we're not embracing that.
All I'll say is we love the real HU.
We love the real HU.
Okay, very good.